Recognized for 3 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I rise in strong support of H.R. 1776, the American Homeownership and Economic Act of 2000. Mr. Chairman, the issue of affordable housing has rapidly reached the level of a national crisis. From one end of this country to the other, we have working people, elderly people, low-income people who are scrambling hard to find decent, safe housing which they can afford. And in this, the richest country in the history of the world, in my view, we should not be giving tax breaks to billionaires, spending money on wasteful military projects, while so many of our people are finding a hard time finding affordable housing. But this legislation is a step forward, and I strongly support it. And I would like to thank Congressman Lazio, Congressman Leach, Congressman LaFalce, and Congressman Frank for their leadership on this legislation. And I especially want to thank them for their help in working with me on 3 amendments which I offered as a member of the Banking Committee. And let me very briefly describe those amendments. The first amendment would create a $5 million federal investment to help low and moderate income homeowners buy duplexes. This funding would flow through the neighborhood's homeownership centers throughout the country. This amendment will make the dream of homeownership a reality for hundreds of first-time homebuyers. Mr. Chairman, the #1 barrier to homeownership is the upfront money needed to purchase a home, and this amendment helps address that problem. This amendment would allow neighborhoods' homeownership centers to provide some of that upfront money to hundreds of people throughout the country for the purpose of buying a duplex. According to Neighborhood Investment Corporation, the $5 million in that amendment would generate an additional investment of $58 million and create 285 units of duplex homeownership available to first-time homebuyers throughout the country. The second amendment would authorize $2 million to make homeownership a reality for recipients of Section 8 rental assistance. This funding will allow HUD to provide down payment grants of up to 20% of the purchase price of a home in order to leverage 80% of the remaining cost from other sources, including state housing finance agencies and the Neighborhood Housing Services of America. A 50% match requirement is needed for participation in the program. Mr. Chairman, the final amendment that I offered would allow more nonprofits the ability to purchase single-family homes from HUD at a 50% discount in areas of very low home ownership. These low home ownership areas have been designated by HUD as revitalization areas. This amendment would require HUD to designate all areas in the United States that meet the criteria for revitalization area within 60 days after a nonprofit has made such a request. Mr. Chairman, the bottom line is that in this country we have a housing crisis. This bill moves us a little bit closer to addressing it.
The gentleman from New York.
Thank you very much, Mr.